Welcome. Today we're diving into some, well, truly unsettling stories. These aren't just facts from dusty archives. They're disturbing realities found in, hidden corners online and elsewhere. Each one's a kind of chilling reminder of the strange, maybe the dark, unexplained things lurking just under the surface. We'll start with a modern-day cult, a really twisted story about its leader. Then we'll look into a missing documentary, a disappearance tied to it. And finally, a kind of desperate plea for help from somewhere totally unexpected. They're glimpses into things that might make you question what you think you know. So prepare yourself. They're hard to shake off once you hear them. Let's begin with the first one, the really strange case of Mother God. Our journey starts in Dallas, Texas, with a woman named Amy Carlson. On the surface, her beginnings seemed, well, totally ordinary. Straight-A student, apparently quite persuasive, a talent she later twisted, for darker purposes. But then, as she got into her young adult years, something changed. It's hard to explain. People described her as becoming a spacey, talking about starships, higher consciousness, that sort of thing. Late 20s, early 30s, she got really into New Age ideas, found this light workers internet forum. And that's where she met someone, Amaranth White Eagle, who apparently convinced her she was divine. Like the ultimate deity, creator of everything. Think about 2007. Amy's a young mom, 3 kids, 3rd marriage, working at McDonald's, feeling, frustrated, destined for more. So this idea of being the greatest of things must have sounded pretty good. After chatting online with Amaranth for months, Amy started having these paranormal phenomena, as she called them, which seemed to confirm Amaranth's claims about her divinity. And then came this moment, Thanksgiving dinner, 2007. She just stood up, walked out, never came back. Left her family, cut off all contact, moved to Crestone, Colorado with Amaranth. And there, they started this sect, the Galactic Federation of Light. Things shifted around 2014. Amaranth left, and Amy partnered with Miguel Lamboy. He seems to have been much more business savvy. He set the group up as a nonprofit, made it financially stable, and changed the name to Love Is One. More marketable, right? Online, they push this narrative about like reptilians controlling the world, keeping it in low vibration. They even pulled in ideas from QAnon and other online conspiracy groups, which definitely broadened their reach to a vulnerable audience. And the core beliefs, just truly bizarre. Followers thought Amy was 19 billion years old, birthed all creation. But her Amy shell was just one of 534 forms. Joan of Arc, Marilyn Monroe, Cleopatra, you name it. They called her Mother God or Mamaji or Mum, believed she'd lead 144,000 people to a 5th dimension. Also, Queen of Lemuria. Donald Trump was her dad in a past life. And she talked to Robin Williams' spirit, who was supposedly an archangel named Zakiel. I mean, it's a lot. So the group grew. Amy moved maybe 20 core members to Colorado. They lived with her, served her. They streamed daily on YouTube, recruiting, asking for donations, selling New Age stuff, including this etheric surgery for $88, which involves staring into the sun to get, quote, light coats, supposedly remove sickness.
Right, and this really highlights something important. How someone's frustrations, their search for meaning, can be just completely exploited. The control tactics here are classic. The aggression, lack of sleep, demanding money, it's coercive control. It isolates people, warps their whole reality.
It's exactly. Amy Carlson's rule was just that. An iron fist, basically, hidden behind spiritual talk. Claimed love and peace, but she limited sleep to like 4 hours. Was aggressive, physically, verbally, to followers, kids, even pets. Demanded they wait on her constantly. Took all their savings for her own lifestyle. Ex-members called it a cult, obviously. Families reported brainwashing, fraud, countless times. Then in May 2020, something alarming happened. A member got banished. Found wandering naked in the Colorado wilderness. Dehydrated, disoriented. Amy said he didn't have the right energy. His vision was badly blurred from the sun gazing, but even after getting help, he still believed he descended to the 5D matrix. The trauma didn't stop. August 2020, Amy flies herself and followers to Kauai, Hawaii. Big mistake. Locals were immediately hostile when she declared herself Kele, the Hawaiian goddess. Protests erupted, people throwing eggs, rocks. Islanders demanded they leave. It got so bad the mayor had to step in and negotiate their departure. So just a month after arriving, Love Has Won was essentially chased off Kauai, back to Colorado in September. That same month, September 2020, the group announced Amy, Mamaji. She was 45, had lost the use of her legs, said she was withering away. The last time the public saw her alive was April 10th, 2021. Then, the chilling discovery. April 28th, 2021, Miguel Lamboy, the financial guy, calls the authorities, says Amy's dead, and that his followers wouldn't let him or his son leave the property. There's body cam footage. Officers raid the place, find this makeshift shrine in a back room, and there she is, wrapped in a sleeping bag, decorated with Christmas lights. Amy Carlson's mummified corpse, glitter makeup on her decayed face, eyeballs missing. Her fingerprints were gone. rotted away. They needed her mother's DNA to ID her. The cult members had been living with her body for 2.5 weeks, worshiping it, preserving it. Photos from before she died show her incredibly thin, hair falling out, skin this purplish color. That was from drinking huge amounts of colloidal silver, which ironically caused her organs to fail. She basically died from her own teachings.
It's really quite striking, isn't it? The level of psychological manipulation that people could live with and worship a decaying body for weeks. Her physical state, the emaciation, the purple skin from the silver, it's a direct result of the belief system. It just underscores the tragedy, the self-deception, the physical harm involved.
Yeah, absolutely. After the raid, 7 followers were arrested. Charges like false imprisonment, tampering with remains. Though, interestingly, all those charges were later dropped. The exact cause and circumstances of her death are still kind of under investigation, and love has won. Well, Amy's most devoted followers are still out there, spreading her ideas. They rebranded as 5D All Disclosure. And one of her protégés, Jason Casquillo, he started his own spin-off called Joy Reigns. He calls himself father now. Amy's son, Cole, the one she abandoned when he was 10. He's been on TV warning people. Trying to dissolve love has won, though maybe not for purely altruistic reasons. Turns out the group's business accounts were in his name. He seems to have taken the money. But he also still says he believes his mother was divine. His own whereabouts now are apparently a mystery. So the true fate of a lot of people involved here, it's really unclear. Okay, let's shift gears. Our next story is quite different. An unsolved mystery from the world of film. It starts with a Reddit user, PillowTalk65. Back in March 2023, they posted on the Unresolved Mysteries subreddit trying to track down a documentary from 2005. It was called Bangkok Girl, directed by Jordan Clark, aired on CBC in Canada. But Pillow Talk wasn't just looking for the film. They wanted to know what really happened to the main subject, a young woman named Pla. The film itself features Pla. She was 19 at the time. Described as really vivacious, charming. She guides the director, Jordan Clark, around Bangkok. And the film shows her life, which was troubled. Some disturbing encounters with expats. The fears about her future, feeling trapped. She comes across as very likable, very human. Which makes it easy to see why the story stuck with people. Which also makes the ending feel like, well, a real shock. The film just ends, with text on screen, announcing Pla died from heart failure. For someone who seemed young and healthy, it felt incredibly abrupt, unexplained, no details given.
And that ambiguity, that lack of explanation, it really becomes the core of the mystery, doesn't it? Why end it like that? Especially for someone the audience connects with. It just begs for speculation.
It absolutely does. And online sleuths definitely started speculating. Lots of theories popped up. One big one was that Jordan Clark faked her death.
Yeah.
For dramatic effect, a big finish to make the film memorable, maybe boost his career. People point to the vague ending as evidence she might not have died at all. And that theory got a boost when another Reddit user claimed a friend of Pla's said she was actually alive and well, living a very successful married life outside of Thailand. Though, that's unverified. Other ideas came up too. Maybe Jordan couldn't reveal details for legal reasons, or maybe government suppression. Thailand relies heavily on tourism, right? Maybe they tend to sweep these types of matters under the rug if it looks bad.
Possible. Authorities suppressing information that could hurt tourism isn't unheard of.
But maybe the most fascinating theory is that Play herself asked for it. Asked for her death to be faked in the film. After filming wrapped, but before it aired. Why? Well, maybe she met someone new, wanted to hide her past, or didn't want her family, who didn't know about her work, to see the film. Faking her death in the documentary would distance her from it, ensure it wouldn't, come back to haunt her.
Yeah.
And that might explain who Jordan made a promise to about not disclosing details.
It does raise a critical question about documentaries in general, doesn't it? How much can we trust the narrative, especially if there are hints of something unspoken? Jordan Clark mentioned an errors and omissions insurance process for CBC, which means lawyers, insurance companies, broadcasters. They all vetted it. That makes outright fabrication less likely, perhaps, but it doesn't totally rule out creating that ending. If Play herself requested it, that's harder to pin down.
True. So while you hope for a happier outcome, the sad reality is, given the context, what often happens in these situations in Thailand. It's quite possible Pla's life did end abruptly, just like the film said, and the real cause, who might be responsible, especially if it involved a client, we'll probably never know for sure. They'd likely never face justice. Okay, for our last story tonight, we're moving into the digital age, a modern mystery. It's like a cry for help. Found on Reddit by a user named Casio on March 6, 2017. Casio noticed these recurring comments, identical comments, posted by someone called Vegeta Gaiken 001. Starting February 22nd that year, this user posted the same 2 sentences over and over on random Reddit threads. The comment was, "I face a serious problem on human rights. In future, divide them silent. Please help me." Gosh, the English is a bit broken. All comments were the same, except one was in Japanese, but a similar plea. Then after about 3 weeks, they just stopped. 001 went silent. Never posted again. Account's inactive. The posts were mostly ignored until Casio connected the dots. Casio Googled Vegeta Gaiken, found it was a factory in Thailand. Seemingly low profile. And that immediately raised alarm because Thailand has this notorious history, holding workers basically hostage like slaves in terrible conditions.
And that context is absolutely crucial here, that desperation in the message. It resonates because we know these situations exist. Thailand, especially in sectors like fishing, has faced serious accusations. Grueling hours, little or no pay, awful living conditions, even human trafficking. There have been reports of authorities returning escaped workers, making escape feel impossible for many.
It's a really chilling thought. So what did Casio find about this specific factory? Vegeta Gaiken Limited. Well, the investigation showed it's actually a Japanese company, Vegeta Gaiken Limited, with a branch in Thailand. There are some Google reviews for the Thai branch that accuse it of modern slavery. But it's important to note, these reviews seem to have appeared after the Reddit mystery got popular. So they might just be people reacting to the Reddit story, not independent proof. Still, even without solid proof from the reviews, many people wonder, was this a real worker? Japanese or Thai, maybe? Someone trapped who didn't speak English well, just trying desperately to get anyone's attention. The broken English, posting on random threads, it suggests someone just clicking anywhere, hoping someone sees it. Of course, some people suggested it could be a hoax or a bot, since the posts were random. But most online investigators tend to disagree with the bot theory. They point out, if it was a spam bot, it wasn't very good, sometimes posted twice in one thread or even replied to itself. Plus, the timing between posts looked more like manual posting, and the topic is so specific. A troll would probably pick something broader, right? Also, the user never replied to anyone who responded. Could be limited English or something worse, rescued maybe, or silenced. Since the mystery blew up, people found a deactivated account, help 001001001. It posted the exact same message back in February 2017, probably the same person. And that account also made 2 other comments in Japanese, both hinting at power harassment.
Okay. So that introduces another layer. Was the serious problem on human rights about forced labor, the slavery-like conditions we discussed? Or was it about power harassment, which is essentially severe workplace bullying? That's a known issue, particularly in some Japanese corporate cultures that might extend to overseas branches. Either way, whether it's extreme exploitation or intense bullying, the case still shines a light on hidden suffering, the kind faced by countless people in the global workforce that we just don't see.
It's a really sobering thought, isn't it? That countless people might be living that kind of life right now, facing just unimaginable conditions. For their sake, you just have to hope that Vegeta Gaiken 001, whoever they were, isn't one of them anymore. But the mystery itself forces you to think about the hidden costs, the human cost, behind so many things we use every day. So, from the really shocking details of a cult leader's mummified remains, to the uncertain fate of a young woman in a Bangkok documentary, and that silent, desperate plea from a factory worker on Reddit, today's dive has definitely pulled back the curtain on some deeply unsettling realities.
Absolutely. And these stories really encourage us to think critically, don't they, about the information we get, the stories that usually stay hidden. Each one, in its own way, kind of forces us to confront the darker aspects of human experience and the world we actually live in.
We really hope these stories have, well, captivated you, maybe made you think. If you want to keep exploring these kinds of chilling mysteries, these unsettling truths, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docx. We'll have more stories like these. Until next time, stay curious. Keep looking for those hidden details. Goodbye.